Hi, it's John Hudson here from the Australian Property Centre. What I'm doing here today is showing a little bit about the bike setup that we're using for all the recon work for the rally. The rally comprises of 7,500 kilometres and 7,100 of them are all dirt, and it's pretty hard going in a lot of places. What we've selected for the bike is a KTM 990. The 990 is basically a favourite amongst many adventure bike riders. The reason being is that it's got the suspension package that makes it allow to ride in the mountain country really well. But then when you want to eat up kilometres out in the desert and do 400 kilometres in 4 hours, you can do that pretty easily and pretty comfortably. If you come around here for a moment, you'll be able to see some of the technology that we're using to run the rally. We've actually, in the rally, all the riders will be using a GPS unit and they'll be following a route. On the recce bikes we usually have 2 GPSs. The reason being is we're cross-checking the information from different units. We've also got a UHF radio, which we have a push-to-talk on the bars. The reason for that is obviously it makes it safer because our hands don't leave the bars. And on the radio it's a UHF 5 watt, which we actually pull off the bike and charge each night. To run the event and to keep it safe, we're using what's called the spot tracker. The spot tracker basically beams your position up to a satellite anywhere in the world, and anyone can go onto a computer and see where you are, and this is all live. So if you get into trouble, you can also press a button and a AAA call will be made, and it gives your exact location, which is a very handy application. Now on the gear setup, these panniers here are where I keep my clothes and computers. The back bag here is where I've got all my camping equipment. The reason I have this set up is because in the back bag, what happens is we don't pull that off very often. We only pull it off maybe 3 times in the entire trip. So that's all locked down with ratchet straps, which is the only way you can hold gear on a motorbike properly. These panniers here are nice and light, and that's the reason we like them, because the hard panniers, your leg can get caught here and it can break pretty easily. So down the bottom here we've actually made some mods ourselves where we're keeping all our spare parts. The reason we like to keep all of our spares is because they're hard and sharp and we don't want them to tear our panniers. It also means that when we're not doing big trips, we've also got all of our spares on the bike at all times. In the back here I've got tyre levers as well. On the rally, what we're doing is riders will see occasionally in hard to see places little white arrows which will give them directions when they can't see a track. What we also have is yellow tape. This yellow tape will be put on all the gates that you go through that you're meant to go through. So if you see a gate without yellow tape, you think twice about going through it and check your GPS, because there's a good chance it's not on the route. We don't want to go into private property and give ourselves a bad name. On the back here I've got 3 fuel bladders. In the rally most riders will need 30 litres of fuel on their motorbike. This bike holds 20, and then one of these bladders actually holds 10 litres. I've got 3 on because in the reconnaissance work we occasionally have to take pretty big detours for when we find a river up or something of that nature. On the suspension side of things with the motorbike, what I've done is I've put heavier front springs in. This is not to go fast, it's just to make it safer, because the suspension of these motorcycles needs to be as good as it can be, because all the problems that lead to accidents on an adventure bike are usually because of poor suspension. That's about all for today. Thank you.